First, let me start with a quick review of the recent settlement with our faculty union, the University of Hawaii Professional Assembly. As reported publicly earlier this month, we came to a tentative agreement with the state and UPA regarding a 2-year extension to that contract. UPA leadership did submit it for a ratification vote, and the members, that is our faculty, overwhelmingly supported it. So that's great news. It matches the raises that were already provided to the public school teachers represented by HSTA for these next 2 years. And because the governor is part of the agreement, we expect these costs to be appropriated by the legislature for our general funded faculty employees. The new agreement also includes the language that we had negotiated with UPA relating to the FCR 201 outcomes that the board discussed over several years. We did have a few other items we had wanted to clean up in this contract. They are not in the agreement the final agreement that was reached. But the early settlement on the cost items is a huge win all around, and we are in conversation with UPA on MOUs to go over those other items and hopefully roll them into the base contract in a future negotiation. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Governor Green and his team, Christian Fern, Dwight Takeno of UPA and their team, VPs Halbert, Govea, and Young for their work on behalf of UH, and everyone who helped bring all of this to an early conclusion. It really is good news to not be doing this in the closing days of a legislative session. And we will be continuing to work with the state and the unions representing our employees in other bargaining units, and hopefully we can also reach conclusion in a timely manner. I also wanted to give an update on some athletics related items. It has been a very busy month. Several years ago, you will recall that we began to see a massive realignment of conferences. The board designated Board Chair Lee and Regent Abercrombie to engage with me as appropriate, recognizing that decisions would need to be made quickly, and this is a very fast-moving area. So I'm very appreciative both of the board's action and Regent Abercrombie and Chair Lee for being always available whenever we were facing an issue. As a result, UH Mānoa will be joining the Mountain West Conference as a full member. This is effective July 1, 2026. So the remainder of this academic year and next academic year will be as is with football in the Mountain West and the remainder of our sports in the Big West. Big news besides achieving full membership is that the travel subsidies for conference opponents will be phased out as part of the new membership, and our exit fee will be covered. And I will say, we are sad to leave our amazing colleagues in the Big West. It has been a great relationship. This is no reflection on them, but the expanded partnership will really build on our strong football program and securely position our overall program to thrive in one of the major group of 5, now group of 6 FBS conferences in an incredibly dynamic landscape with many more wrinkles to come. And it's also financially advantageous for our UH Mānoa program. Leaving undetermined as of today, I just want to be clear, we have 4 sports that we play in the Big West that are not sponsored by the Mountain West. We have requested that the Big West consider us for affiliate membership, meaning we would continue to play men's volleyball, women's water polo, our men's swimming and diving team, and beach volleyball with the Big West. That requires a vote of the board, from which I will obviously recuse myself. And we do expect a decision on this by the end of the year, and we do have a plan B identified if necessary. I also, so much of this is about football. I want to report on a sport we seldom talk about, and that's women's soccer at UH Mānoa. This has been an amazing year for the team. A record streak of 9 unbeaten games this season. And last weekend, they clinched the first Big West regular season championship in our history. As a result, they will. I'll pass on your thanks to Bud and the team. So as a result, they do receive a first round bye, and for the first time ever, we will be hosting the conference championship tournament here in Hawaii, November 7th and 10th. If you want to watch the team, if you can't make it then, you can catch their last regular season game, which is senior night this Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Waipio Soccer Complex, which is fittingly within the Patsy Team Mink Central Oahu Regional Park. And lest anyone forget, and I see Chancellor Irwin here, we do have two athletic programs within this university. UH Hilo has a thriving program, well supported by its community as well. And I just want to say it was wonderfully on display last weekend. I joined Chancellor Irwin on Sunday, but UH Hilo actually hosted the UH Mānoa men's and women's basketball teams in exhibition games in Hilo. And as much as the games, the men played Friday night, the women played Sunday afternoon, but players and coaches from both teams also hosted clinics for Hawaii Island youth between the two games on Saturday, reaching out together to the community. And for the record, Manoa did win both games, but the men's game went down to the wire. It was not decided till the last minute. It was very, very exciting for those of you. It wasn't televised. You had to listen on the radio. I want to give you an update on the study that I had mentioned last year relating to thinking about the structure of the university. I reported that we have engaged an external expert organization to provide UH with insights about, frankly, whether our current structure built up over a series of decisions over the last 3 decades, is that structure still optimal for enabling the entire UH system to work together to serve the entire state in the current post-pandemic, more IT-enabled, more online environment? That work is being undertaken by the National Center for Higher Education Management Systems, or NCHEMS, based out of Boulder. It was scheduled to be presented to you next month. Given the timing of the presidential selection and transition, and at the suggestion first of the officers actually, and in consultation with board leadership in discussing future agendas, that report will be delayed until your January meeting so that incoming President Hensel has a chance to engage with them and understand what will be presented in January. And to be clear, this is a report that will present options and considerations. Any major structural considerations will be completely under the purview of the board. This report is simply intended to help inform those decisions if there is any appetite for significant change. And if not, I do expect that the insights uncovered during the study, the interviews they've conducted, the data they've gathered here and elsewhere will inform you and leaders throughout the system on how we can do better to serve the state of Hawaii. I want to give some updates on our enrollment. I've given you teasers each month, but we have now passed what we call the census date. That's when we freeze our enrollment data and report it nationally. There is much to celebrate. I'm going to just share some highlights, and we're putting out a much more complete announcement, and you'll get copies of it when it comes out, probably the minute after I finish these remarks. So first, headcount enrollment at the 10 campuses of the University of Hawaii is up. We surpassed 50,000 students for the first time since 2018. It's about a 3% increase over last fall. In addition, enrollment is up at 8 of our 10 campuses, the most we've had in years. Nationally, you may have seen reports recently about enrollment for freshmen who just graduated from high school declining nationally. First-time freshman enrollment at UH from Hawaii high schools is up 10% across the UH system, remarkable number. We have increases, again, system-wide in the enrollment of resident students, Native Hawaiian students, Pacific Islander students, and Filipino students, again, across the entire UH system. Our female-male ratio is still about 60-40. We have some work to do with young men. But the gap is shrinking a little bit. Our male enrollment is up slightly more than our female enrollment this year. Enrollment for our early college programs, that's when high school students take college courses for dual credit, both high school and college, reached an all-time high. And that's important because these students, and especially our underrepresented students, are more likely to attend college and earn a degree after participating in early college. All 7 of our community colleges have increases in headcount enrollment this fall. That's something we have not seen since 2010, when we had a huge enrollment surge associated with the last recession. UH Mānoa, as we reported, surpassed 20,000 students for the first time in over a decade, and again, welcome a record number of first-time freshmen. The small decline at UH West Oahu is mostly attributable to about 50 fewer early college students. And UH West Oahu does have an increase in the number of degree-seeking students and in student semester hours. That is the amount of instruction actually delivered. And UH Hilo also has gains in key areas, including out-of-state Native Hawaiian students, transfer students, graduate students, and veteran students. Also with a surge in returning students, those who had paused their studies during the pandemic and have come back. So the press announcement will have a lot more details. I just wanted to give you some high-level tidbits. And then next month, we will give our annual report on the agenda with a focus by major unit on what we are actually doing more strategically to advance our enrollment performance. Very quick update on philanthropy. You're going to get a full update on our extramural numbers, so I won't say anything about those right now. But as of last week, we're at $28 million raised this year and well on pace to record another one of our best fundraising years. And finally, let me highlight 2 notable awards that we received over the past month. First, I guess last week, I had the pleasure of going down to our John A. Burns School of Medicine in Kaka'ako to celebrate the National Academy of Medicine electing Dr. Joseph Keaweʻaimoku Kaholokula. He's the chair of our Native Hawaiian Health Department at JABSOM as a new member. Academy members are elected through a national process that recognizes individuals who have made major contributions to the advancement of medical science. Only 100 elected this year, and it's an incredible honor. We have only 2 active National Academy members at the university now. We also have 2 retirees. Keawe is believed to be the first Native Hawaiian ever elected to the National Academy of Medicine. And he was cited, again nationally, for his pioneering evidence-based interventions using indigenous cultural values and practices to improve cardiovascular, diabetes, and obesity disparities for thousands of Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders. He spans science and practice, provides direction to healthcare systems serving Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, advocates for their health, and importantly, actively develops Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander scientists. It's really quite an achievement. The second award I want to note is to a team, and it was a recognition for a project. And from time to time, those of you who have been on the board for a while, you've heard reports both from me and on our campuses, especially at Leeward, about our work in open educational resources and other zero-cost textbook initiatives. And this fall, our largest OER development project was recognized with a national award from the Wichita Cooperative for Educational Technology, the WOW Award for WCET Outstanding Work. And this is for an OER textbook in anatomy and physiology, not exactly a cakewalk of a subject. We have over 4,000 students here who take human anatomy and physiology courses, paying around $200 for just one of the textbooks they need. So this was an amazing opportunity to create a zero-cost textbook, and I'll say a little bit about the importance of OER as well, that reflects our culture and it helps instill a sense of belonging in students while providing this significant cost benefit. So over 40 faculty across the system were consulted in developing this. A core group of 11 from multiple campuses committed to the project, to a book sprint project, we call it, over intensive periods. They were interrupted by the pandemic and came back to it. But the textbook that they have produced that won the award covers 2 semesters of course content. And because it's open educational resources, meaning the copyright is available, our faculty, as well as faculty anywhere in the country or around the world, can update, refine, and continue to improve the content in pedagogy without requiring a new edition and a new $200 textbook. So congratulations to all of them. And they were supported by many colleagues who provided input, administrators and staff who supported them in spending their time on it. And really important and impactful work like this truly takes a village. So with that, I conclude the President's report for today.